Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man's Quarter channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm reacting to my third Chill and Scares video for you guys. This will be the final one I'll be doing today, and it's 8 Most Disturbing Things Caught on Dashcam Footage Vol.3. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction on the road and in the bag. Okay, here we go.
This first dashcam video was captured in Australia. Two men in a Mercedes are driving down the highway when, through their rear dashcam, a car is seen quickly approaching. It then swerves around the two guys before getting in front of them and slamming on the brakes, clearly trying to run them off the road. But what first could be written off as road rage soon takes a more serious and disturbing turn.
Yeah, at first I'll be thinking like it's road rage, but I'll be like, what's your problem, dude? Are you that in a hurry? But for what I'm seeing, this guy sitting out the window, it don't look like he's road raging.
The two men notice the driver has an axe and is now waving it out his window and threatening them.
Oh, he's got an axe, dude. Like, what are you doing? Oh, keep distance, bro. Right, cool.
The sudden and unexpected encounter forces the two men to take a quick U-turn to lose the guy, but he continues to follow them. The situation is then taken even further when the two use the next exit and approach a roundabout.
Whoa! Keep driving, holy! Yeah.
I'd be like, what in the world is this guy's problem? He's got an axe. He looks like he might end up killing him. I don't know. This is so weird and scary.
No. Oh, keep going. Just keep. Oh my god!
2 times the Mercedes is rear-ended, the second of which causes the attacker to spin out, sending him off the road. This allowed the two guys to get away. They would then drive to the nearest police station, where they would report what had just happened. When police arrived at the scene of the crash, the car was gone. However, a few hours later, they would find the vehicle on the road, and from there the driver was arrested. Later, the owner of the dashcam footage would give the video more context. Apparently, the driver chasing them, for whatever reason, was 100% convinced they had robbed his house the night before. But obviously this wasn't the case. The two guys had never before even seen the man. It was determined that he was under the influence of something. He would be charged with multiple offenses, which put him in prison for 2 years.
Yeah, he should have not been under the influence of anything while he was driving. And I'll be mad if somebody accused me of stealing something out of their house. I ain't even seen them. So I can see these guys being upset that they're being chased down for no good reason. But yeah, that's just ridiculous, following somebody thinking that it's the people that steal something out of your house. If somebody stole something out of your house, you call the cops and let them deal with it, not you. Being like a solo vigilante type person. All right, let's get to the next case.
In August of 20...
The tree falls on us. Please, God, help.
Man, the sun needs to keep it together. Good lordy. The car ain't gonna blow up unless the flames really got underneath the car and heated up the gas tank and boom.
Help us.
Yeah, we can't get out. I'm getting out. You can't drive back. We get that out of the road. We get gloves.
Oh, God.
Stop.
No, we gotta get out of here.
Off to go but back, so they ended up reversing through everything they had just...
Yeah, if your car gets damaged, it can be replaced. I'm just glad that they did the right thing and reversed it back to the campsite and waving over park employees to get them out of there. Just glad they didn't get seriously hurt.
This dashcam footage shows the armed robbery of a cab driver. The driver, Ralph Valletta, had just started his shift. This was his first ride of the day. He was stopped at a light, and the rider can be seen in the back slouched down. But abruptly, he sits up and demands Ralph give him everything he has.
What? Give me all your money, man. Man, I don't. Give me everything you got. Give me that now. All right. I need it now. All right. I can make it the easy way, or we can make it the hard way, man. Everything I got, man. Keep your hand where I can see it. I just started. What else you got? I just started. Your wallet. Let me see your. I don't have anything in my wallet. We can do this the hard way, or we can do this the easy way, man. Let me see your wallet and let me see your phone. I need it all right now. If you don't want to die, man. Okay. Give it all to me now. Okay.
Unbeknownst to the rider, a police cruiser was stopped at the same light directly behind them. At some point during the robbery, the light to the lane they were in had turned green, and seeing that they weren't moving, the officer put on his lights and got out to investigate.
Don't have anything in my wallet. I don't have your wallet in your phone. I need your wallet in the... Please don't give my phone. I need that for... There's a cop. There's a cop. Yeah. Oh my God.
Almost immediately, the officer would realize that a robbery was taking place. So, in response, he would order the rider out of the car, where he would then be detained. The rider was arrested and later charged with multiple offenses.
That guy was stupid enough to think that a taxi driver would have any money on him when they first started their shift. And he should have, for no cops right behind him. He didn't do that. He just went ahead and started making a scene with that guy. But thankfully, the cop noticed that they weren't moving, so he was able to help him out. Because if that cop wasn't there, it could have ended up a lot worse.
In April of 2021, a man named Mitch Kuhn was driving on the highway back from work when he saw this. A child that looks to be wearing a large jacket, or that's possibly wrapped in a blanket, begins walking out in the middle of the highway, just barely missing Mitch's truck. Mitch was towing a trailer and felt that if he abruptly stopped, it would cause an accident. So instead, he opted to call the police, reporting an unattended child walking on the highway. Police assured Mitch that they'd send out patrol units immediately. An hour later, Mitch called again for a follow-up, as well as to offer the footage he had caught on his dashcam. But he was told that it wouldn't be necessary, as the child had been collected safely and was on his way home. However, strangely, police would later state that no child was found, despite officers searching the area until 3:45 a.m. Additionally, they would claim that at no point did they tell Mitch that they had found the child. The next morning, multiple volunteers commenced a search of the area, but no child was ever found, and therefore the search eventually ended. At the time the footage was captured, there were no reports of a missing child in the area. It remains unknown who exactly was captured in this video.
That is sort of strange because you call police saying that there might be a child walking onto the road with heavy traffic, right? And when they get there, there's no child there. That is strange. It's mind-boggling me right now, and I just don't know. I mean, he should have handed over the dash cam footage, then they probably would have got a good idea of what he was talking about.
This dashcam footage was captured in the streets of Taiwan. Right away, it's clear the video takes place in the midst of a storm where the winds are strong enough to throw around debris. At one point, debris is even seen flying against the windshield. But little did the drivers know that an actual tornado was forming right behind them and quickly heading in their direction. The dashcam footage captures the exact moment the tornado went directly through them. It was even strong enough to lift vehicles off the ground, which can actually be seen with the white van that pulls out onto the road. The wheels of the vehicle leave the ground, and it begins to get full-on dragged by the tornado, seemingly disappearing. But once the tornado passes, it can be seen much further down the road, wedged in between two trees. More concerning, however, is the person that gets thrown by the tornado on the right side of the road. Unfortunately, this woman would suffer major injuries and would be taken to the hospital. The storm would go on to produce further damage in the form of 50 inches of rain that would cause multiple deadly landslides.
Yeah, that would be scary. You're just driving and then a tornado just forms right in front of you. Oh, I would have hit the brakes or try to back up real quick before it gets strong enough to pick me up off the ground. But this one in Taiwan won't play, and it picked up that car and wedged it over there in the trees. But always, if you see a tornado, try to go for one of them tornado shelters or like a place that has like a basement, because you do not want to be sucked up by one of these things.
This video was taken in Russia. It shows the dashcam footage of a man driving down a desolate and long stretch of dirt road. And up ahead is a car parked in such a way so as to block traffic. Two men with baseball bats begin walking up to the driver, and that's when it becomes clear that this is a robbery, and the parked car was an intentional makeshift roadblock. The driver tries to escape, but the two men get in the way and do their best to prevent it. Fortunately, the driver had a window of opportunity and took advantage. He slammed on the gas and was able to get away unscathed. He then drove around the roadblock and was free. It's unknown if the two men with baseball bats were ever caught.
Yeah, it seemed like they were planning on robbing him of his possessions, but also maybe his car. But I don't know why they got to pick that specific road unless it was like out in the countryside and they wouldn't think no cops would be in that area. But I'm glad that guy took the opportunity to back up, and when them guys were about to walk around, open up his door, floored it right past the van and get out. Yeah, you see a roadblock set up, and there's a lot of people trying to tell you to stop, wait until they're out of the way, and then go. I mean, that's what I would do and call the cops.
In late November of 2015, a large catastrophic bushfire broke out in South Australia. This dashcam footage was captured by one of the fire trucks responding to the incident. Right from the start of the video, enormous smoke clouds are shown, depicting just how large the fire had gotten. As the trucks continue forward, visibility gradually worsens. It gets so bad to where the fire trucks are forced to stop. Then, in the distance, the fire itself can be seen, spreading towards them unnervingly fast.
Here it comes, the hit's coming. It's on here. Can't even get it. We're gonna go to bed over there. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes.
Yeah, that's right. You see a wildfire coming, you just back up and get out of there before it gets to you. Oh, shoot.
A miscommunication between the two trucks resulted in a collision. The truck in the front was attempting to back up out of the fire, while the truck with the dashcam was entering what's known as a burnover. A burnover is a fire truck protection protocol where the truck stays in place and the crew deploys Velcro blankets to protect themselves from the heat. Water is sprayed outside of the vehicle to keep it from catching on fire, and in the inside, breathing masks are used by the crew. During this protocol, however, the crew from the truck in the front can be heard desperately explaining how they didn't have water for a burnover, or rather their truck's sprinkler system wasn't working properly. They couldn't stay in place and were forced to drive forward in the hopes of escaping the fire, which you can actually see in the video as the truck fades into the distance. Fortunately, this move would end up saving their lives. They would make it to the other side of the fire, and everyone inside the truck, as well as the one with the dash cam, would make it out with minimal injuries.
I don't think I never heard of that protocol, a burnover, where you sit in the cab and put Velcro tarp looking things over the windows and the fire just goes over you, it won't burn you. Interesting. But yeah, they did have some miscommunication right there. The guy should have not backed up. I know he was probably scared of the fire hitting them, but the other guy should have made room for them to keep on backing up if they wanted to get out of there quick. But hey, I'm just glad that none of them didn't get hurt and that they had the opportunity to hit the pedal to the metal and get further ahead of the flames.
This footage was captured way back in 2012. It takes place near an airport in Moscow, Russia. The airport is right next to a highway, and on December 29th, this dashcam footage would capture the disturbing moments a plane missed the runway and crash landed just on the right side of the highway.
Oh! Oh, shoot! That's one big crash.
It turns out the plane had mistakenly overshot the runway because of bad weather conditions, so when it landed, it didn't have enough room to brake. This left it no choice but to go directly into the highway, causing plane seats and other debris to shoot towards passing vehicles, all of which can be clearly seen in the footage. At the time of the crash, the plane was only carrying crew members. No passengers were on board. But unfortunately, 5 of the 8 total crew members would lose their lives. The driver of the vehicle with the dashcam would make it out unharmed.
Woo! I'm just glad that there were no passengers on that plane, because if it was, that would have been hard to hear on the news. And the person that was recording it was glad that they didn't get seriously injured from all that debris. But yeah, that'd be scary to see a plane crashing near the highway. That could have been avoided if they looked at the weather patterns that day, and they would have landed that plane safely. Then most of the crew wouldn't have got killed. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more chill and scares content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. I say that's a wrap, and that's it, y'all.